Hello everybody, welcome back to LegendCraft. Today we have a lot of work to do, as always. Essentially, today we're just doing odds and ends, bits and bobs, essentially. The main focus of that is going to be two things, which is the two items that I had on my list. Firstly, the reason why I'm in an ancient city is because I've decided to raid multiple ancient cities for the purpose of getting the disc fragments for Music Disc 5. I also, and this is for the For the record shop and music parlor, which I have decided is going to be the name of the record shop. And Sam has even built the record shop in Contemplus, and I'll show you that in a minute. But when we sell a record shop, we've got to sell all the records. We're going to migrate the Creeper records from Wander and Wares, of course. But what we're going to do with this is I am going to go on a quest, as I already have been, to get all the, I'm going to call them premium music discs for the purpose of selling. And that is, of course, the music discs that you can't get from Creepers, which is Other Side, Pig Step, 5, and Relic. Now, we already have one Relic, but I'm not going to be trading any of the Silly Stereo I'm not going to be selling any of the Silly Stereo. I also want to, I always want to have at least one copy for myself. The Other Side disc can be found in various structures, dungeons and strongholds and altar chests, although a lot more rarely, because it appears quite frequently, I believe, in ancient cities. And that also means that we can search ancient cities for disc fragments, which can get us the 5 disc. Now, I've searched 3 ancient cities entirely already, and I've built an entire nether tunnel to this thing. But I have searched ancient cities, and I've got quite a lot of disc fragments and a lot of Other Side. So I did raid 3 ancient cities. It was surprisingly easy, and I guess I could say the other reason I didn't record it is because it was very easy and very uninteresting. I basically just placed a lot of wool to cover the chests and shriekers. I did end up getting a lot of echo shards, though. Yeah, so this is what Tempest Pirate has built. This is the multicolored building. Hi, Fungus. He just joined. Anyway, this is the multicolored building. I don't know the official name for it, but the bottom floor, actually, Mob Goblin is going to use the second floor, and I think Tempest Pirate is going to use the top floor. But it says close coming soon. This is going to be the For the record shop and music parlor. He has done the discs in the window, as you can see. I think he's even donated one of his own relics, which he recently got, and Pig Step for the window, and I think there was a 5 over here, wasn't there? Yeah, there was a 5. So essentially, this is the record shop and music parlor. You might think it's quite bare, but I do like the open space in the middle. It really sets this in as like not only a record shop, but a gathering place where musicians can play their things. It seems very also like quaint and old-timey, especially with this cartographer guy here. This is the disc sampler, which I wanted to actually edit this sign and add. There's an enter chest here, of course. The broken record on the floor. I also want to fill these chiseled bookshelves with a brief description of the lore for each of the discs. Like Pig Step, like I would say, like, you know, this was found in ancient bastions, like, inhabited by piglins, like some text like that. But essentially, these where the shelves are going to be. And the shelf design doesn't look perfect, but I did this on purpose because I wanted to divide up these 6 barrels, which all have 2 of the Creeper music discs in them. And then these are going to have the premium music discs. And now the big reveal, I've got 30 disc fragments. I'd say I get probably about an average of, like, 10 fragments. Actually, well, statistically an average of 10 fragments per city, because I've only raided 3 cities. But I've got a very lucky amount of Other Sides. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's definitely going to be enough. 3 is probably enough to sell. 3 disc fragments. 9 crafts 1. The reason why I say I get 10 is because, of course, I get enough to craft 1 and a little bit more. 1 5 and a little bit more, because 1 5 disc costs 9. But I've got the ancient city bits down. Just a brief little LegendCraft news. I'm not going to actually include this in LegendCraft news, but just to get a bit up to date. There have been a lot of Contemplus buildings going around, and the Dirt Mason now has a second floor. You may notice that this is different, and I think Tying Apple said, "Soap, you didn't juju on the beat, Soap," and Bombastry was, "Don't prank Flabu," for his phrase. Oh yeah, Tying Apple is a new legend he recently joined. I don't think he's gonna play that long, but we'll see. Kai had its elevator here, that goes to the second floor, and I'm gonna lag out on it. And the second floor is actually really impressive. It's based on... Well, I just kind of spoiled it already. Oh, man! Wait, let me try this. Alright. I don't want to break that, but I will replace this as needed. Alright. So you can see that this is based on the Jeff shop from Hit Game Doors. He actually is making bank with this because he's selling all the different ores, and of course people want to buy the diamond ore to gamble to see if they get more because with fortune. But yeah, he's selling a bunch of different overworld ores. You could see there's door 53 here, which I think makes sense because door 51 would be door 51. This is door 52. So yeah, he's even made El Goblino and Bob here, which is honestly really impressive. I think he even might have bought my lodestone mini block for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think he bought my lodestone mini block. Anyway, this is the Jeff shop. I just want to point that out because it's a really good idea for a build. I think he did it really well. Yeah, I think this was really fun as a thematically for it. Anyway, the other thing I want to mention is that in the Nether, which I'm going to get to in a second, Flibu and Tempest Pirate grinded out for, I think, like about 2 days, maybe even one night, and they created a southern Nether tunnel, which ironically ends in a path to the Wild West. But if I just come over here, you might have seen this already. But this is the southern tunnel. This is the Frontlines district. You can see they've got the terracotta and dripstone and the mine shaft. Look at the top. Of course, there's the soul speed here. And if I come over here, you can see that I've also added my own portal to this, which is the personal gunpowder and trader farms. I don't know if I've shown this on camera yet, but I recently built a wandering trader farm. I probably showed my creeper farm, but this is just a simple creeper farm. It's how I've been getting my gunpowder for fireworks. But if I go over here, if I fly a little ways this way, you'll see it on the minimap. Yep, see that massive platform and with the darkness too. If I just fly straight up, about 4 fireworks worth, I'll find this, which is a wandering trader farm. So it's basically a massive platform, as you can see. It's very slow, because, of course, wandering traders don't appear that frequently. But the reason why I have this wandering trader farm is for mini blocks. And you'll see that I have a ton of mini blocks. I stocked my entire shop at Wandering Wares, plus probably about a chest and a half full. So, like, 3/4 of a double chest full of things. So essentially what I do is I wait here, and how wandering trader spawning works is it basically, to put it briefly, it tries to select an area around a player that can spawn a wandering trader, which is basically just a flat block like this. So it basically maximizes the chances to spawn because it's a massive platform. And it also works when there are less players online because it gives it more chance to spawn on me. Anyway, wandering traders just walk towards bells. That's how their AI works. And as you know, trapdoors, mobs think trapdoors are normal blocks. So they get lured towards this bell wherever they spawn. They come down. And if I leave them in the overworld, they despawn. So I basically put them in this nether portal right here, where there's this holding area, where if any wandering traders come into here, I can basically just, get their mini blocks. And this is, like I said, the farm's very slow, so it's more of like an AFK overnight kind of thing. So if I just fly down here, should get to the ocean pretty soon. I want to make sure Oh, okay. Here's a gunpowder farm. Anyway, that's pretty much what's been happening recently for me on LegendCraft. So between the recording of that last clip and this one, multiple things have happened. First, about 2.5 months have passed, And second, I have a new computer now, after saving up for a while, as promised on the Silly Syrup channel, which means I'll be able to do a lot more things with streaming. I'll be able to play LegendCraft actually, like, for real, without, like, horrible lag. And I will have watchable videos. That last clip is uh, getting the music discs 5 and other side. For the next clip, I have the update. So as you may or may not know, LegendCraft has updated to Minecraft 1.21.1. So now the trial chambers are in the game. So if we go really, really far and we generate a new chunk, we can get a trial chamber. And what that entails is basically, a bunch of copper. Also, new pottery shards, which Wandering Wares is going to sell. And also 3 new music discs that must be added to our music disc shop. So for that, I, of course, went to a trial chamber. And in this visit, I did make a deal with Flibble the Third that I would get any heavy cores, or he would get any heavy cores and basically all the other loot. But he did, as you can see, leave quite a lot for me. And this was actually from a different trial chamber. But yeah, and I did some trial chamber raiding after that solo myself. Basically just to get all the music discs, although the heavy core was an excellent bonus. Not that I intend to do really anything with the mace. Yeah, honestly, I'm not too keen on like the new update. Like it's a good update, but it doesn't really pertain to me right now in LegendCraft, except for the music discs, which are awesome. So yeah, getting those music discs and running the trial chamber is something I'm about to show. And I will mention that I'm probably not going to show that much because this first trial chamber run with Fluid the Third was not that eventful. It was honestly just a bunch of hack and slash that you've probably seen in a ton of other videos about the update already, and I'm not going to bore you to death with stuff you've already seen a million times. But basically, I guess maybe I can show getting music discs. Anyway, yeah, basically, here's a few clips of the trial chamber, basically just to prove that I did it. And I'm not really going to be doing much else with trial chambers in the future unless the discs like sell out so badly that I'll have to get more. But yeah, I basically ended up with a few creator music boxes, a few creators, and a few precipices, like respectively. So that's enough, like 3 to 5 really, to sell in the music disc shop for a high price. The next thing is the pig step disc for our music disc shop, which basically to explain how I got that, for this pig step disc, it was probably the most difficult to attain, but also the easiest, because this is a very rare thing for me to do, especially in LegendCraft. But for pig step specifically, I took the route of doing the least tedious thing, the most convenient thing, at the expense of the laws of actual gameplay. So what I did is I found bastions using chunk base, which I would have done anyway, because they're very difficult to find. I found bastions using chunk base, and I essentially created this really long tunnel near the roof of the Nether. And yes, I want to find that right here. Near the roof of the Nether, this is where the Wandering Trader Farm is. I just happened to start my thing here. So by the roof of the Nether, I created this really, really long tunnel. And I mean like really, really, really long. I had already previously done in a creative mode world, searched at each of these bastions and wrote down exact coordinates for where a pig step disc was. So I basically just dug straight down to a chest, opened it, and because seeds are now generated with random loot tables, or are now connected with random loot tables, then I got a pig step disc fairly easily. Now, I wouldn't normally do something like this, but for the pig step discs specifically, I think it's a bit of an anomaly in the sense that it's very, very tedious to get in a world that's already been played so much. Like, all the bastions have already really been generated. Oh, there we go. Yep, there's one. Yeah, so basically I just placed obsidian on top of these two blocks. And I dug straight down, like, literally, like, straight in the middle of a bastion. And the pig step disc is right under this block. So I dig this. Oh, it's right there. There where the piglin brutes are. So yeah, basically it was probably the least tedious option I could have taken, although of course it did take some time anyway. Uh, that actually concludes all of our music discs except for a single one, and that music disc is Relic. Um, yeah, so here goes. And with that, I was on to my final music disc, Relic, so I decided to explore a trail ruin in order to see how many relics I could get. Here's how it went. So I'm recording right now in a trail ruin, and I mean, when you probably saw me, I was explaining what this was. But anyway, um, I'm in a bit of a dire situation here because basically the entire reason why I did this thing was to get Relic. Um, I've gotten pretty dang unlucky. I've excavated everything except for this corner right here. Really, I think that the road is about to end here. That's why I'm doing this cell. Um, but basically, what the way I've been going about this is doing it with just like I did the other turtle ruin, except there's a instead of just digging top to bottom anywhere, I do it in 10 by 10 cells. So without exception, essentially. This cell was a bit annoying to dig, this one right here, because it basically just had the tag of this building, and I knew that this was all stone. But I would like to follow that strictly, just to make sure I get the entire trail ruin, and it looks really good by the time it's completed as well. You can just kind of see the entire thing as it is. If I get Relic, I'll let you know. But I have gotten, of course, multiple of the armor trims. I believe I'm missing Host. But I already have that from the other trail ruin. Anyway, um, yeah, the sherd situation is looking very, very good. A lot better than the other trail ruin even, which surprises me to say, because last trail ruin was really good too. So I'm definitely going to be selling these sherds at Wandering Wares, alongside the trial chamber sherds. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to finish excavating this trail ruin. I hope we get Relic. If we don't, we'll have to do another trail ruin, which is okay because it's decently fun to do. Just it gets boring just digging a ton of stone after a while. So once I get the music disc shop running, next on the agenda, I believe, is Fire Tower. All the way back at the base, 14 kilometers away, I have a bit of a storage situation, which basically my base looks something like this, except there's no signs and there's literally just random stuff in every chest. Basically, I need a base. I need a main base and I need a storage room. And the way I'm going to go about that is I am going to build. One thing I mentioned in episode 3 when I was talking about long-term season plans was the vault. That's one thing I need to build, but I think definitely Fire Tower is of a higher priority for now because I already started it. And I need to find a location for it so I can reserve that quickly. I'm kind of getting things done one at a time, doing the music disc shop as I said I would. Fire Tower should be next episode. But for the rest of this episode, I honestly don't know what I'll do. Probably a bunch of clips and other stuff I'm doing. But just, yeah, enjoy the rest of the episode after I excavate this trail ruin. Well, this is I mean, I guess it's kind of underwhelming, official loot. I did already move all the pottery sherds and trims, so it looks kind of not valuable. But anyway, no relic, which is actually crazy unlucky. So I guess I'm gonna have to do another trail run, although I won't do that this episode, sadly, because of relic luck. To be honest, like relic is literally the only one I need. Like it's weird because I could open the music disc shop now because I've been waiting for so long, and other people have been waiting for so long, or but the thing is, if I do that, then it will kind of ruin the joy of having every single music disc available for sale. So even if I get one relic and just say it's really limited, like time and sell it for like a lot of diamonds, I think actually doing that might be better. Either way, I'm gonna have to do another trail run, which I might not even do this episode, or maybe just maybe I'm dropping this announcement while I can. Maybe I can do it on a LegendCraft stream. Maybe the very first LegendCraft stream, depending on what happens and when. But anyway, the Trail Ruin will not come this episode, which means the music disc shop will not come this episode, which is very sad. I had planned next episode to have the Fire Tower start, which I probably will. And I'll probably just lump the music disc shop into that. Anyway, I do have a couple of other things in this episode that I've been doing around. But for the music disc shop arc, that's pretty much what we have for this episode. And it is at this point also that I would like to mention that I am currently working on a somewhat small side project of briefly extending this southern nether tunnel. Now, it does require a bit of resource gathering. I've already gotten a lot of light gray terracotta, and I need more deep slate for the stairs and oak logs to extend this bit on the top. So it did require a lot of gathering of resources, but basically the reason why I'm doing this is to extend to my village base, which is right here. This is the tunnel that I always otherwise used. I wanted to have a better access to my village base, so I'm just basically extending it about 128 blocks, I'd say. Let's see, from like, this is the extension line. I put a sign here. Negative, how long is this? 1185 to 1291. So yeah, actually about 105 blocks. 106 blocks. Yeah, so it's a small extension, but it's something I'm going to be working on. I will not work on it any further on camera, because this is basically it. I've dug out the tunnel, and then started filling it in and all that. So, yeah, that's all. Just a small extension, so now I have easier access to my village base. Well, Doofenshmirtz Incorporated has become basically a center for trolls and griefing and contemplous. Well, I mean, I guess I should kind of go back because it's in quite an unfortunate state right now. But I think, as far as I know, first it appeared with the launch robots from a Mortarinator. That I actually have no idea who did any of this, by the way. The launch robots from a Mortarinator was built. Then, of course, there was this entire thing around Contempalus where these different robots were built, the Dispensator-nator and the Observinator, and like you find them. I want to find another one. They're like on the streets and stuff. There should be a couple down here. Yeah, this is another Observinator, I think. Anyway, there's been a bunch of trolls and stuff that's been happening. And I think the lore that whoever did this was trying to create is that, of course, this is like a Dr. Doofenshmirtz style project. Yeah, and then as a second prank, I guess, Kai, the one who you might have seen in last episode, Kai has kind of made a name for himself by becoming like the master of dirt in a sense. He made an island called Chili Isle, which is based off his username Chillisicle. And he's building a dirt hut, which actually I should probably go and show you at some point, possibly now. But essentially, he made this dirt hut, which is going to be his base for the rest of the season. This is basically northwest of Contempalus, or west northwest of Contempalus, more likely. He's got like a moss farm and everything started, and yeah, that is a thing. Anyway, yeah, he started this entire dirt hut, which I think is actually starting to look really good. I do like it. So anyway, I was just showing you the dirt hut bit to kind of put a bit of context to this whole situation. But essentially, the bottom line, I mean, of course, there's the flip with the third face on the front too, which I'm going to fix by probably just by removing it. It's been there for so long at this point. And anyway, the bottom line of all this is that Doofenshmirtz Incorporated is covered in dirt. And I need to fix that. And I decided to take this as an opportunity to do something that I might also do in my future at the channel, and that is trying my hand at the replay mod to basically show myself digging up all of this dirt. So I'm going to get to that now. I'm just going to grab my shovel, start digging, and is that royalty-free music I hear? I think it may just be time for a time lapse. Surely not the interior, right? Okay, I feel like that could have been like famous last words or something, but oh my goodness, if Kai had done that, that would have been crazy. Anyway, I do need to grab back some of those torches. Does this still work? Or did he got rid of the button, didn't he? Yeah, I need a new... What kind of button was this? Was it warped? I forgot what it was. Anyway, I'll go grab a button, and then I need to get back some of those torches to light up the areas that were previously spawn-proofed. It doesn't matter too much, but there is creeper griefing on the server now. However, it's the data pack where it returns the no matter what blocks it destroyed, it returns it. Like if it's a block that would normally drop. So I actually do approve of that decision because before this, creepers were literally nothing; they were useless. So that kind of added a good touch to the server. Anyway, what was I doing? Torches and a single button. I think I'll just do oak for now because I wanted a wooden button because it takes longer. It presses longer. However, I had forgotten what it actually was, so I'll probably have to go back and look at that at some point. Alright, so I'm going to place this button down here, and then, that should work, right? Yep, it does. Yep, full note box song still there. I think, so I did destroy the Flibu face, and I think, okay, so I am going to remove the Freddy Fazbear face, but I think I might leave the launch robots from a Nether, launch robots from a mortarinator. I know, I can't tell. Really, it does kind of take away from this side of the decoration of the base and like the cartoonish aspect of it, but I feel like it otherwise fits well with the lore, and it's kind of just a part of LegendCraft lore now anyway, because there's an Observinator in there. But then people might think that I actually put this here, and that's the only problem. But I think we're going to leave it for now instead of destroying it. The Freddy Fazbear face, though, yeah, that has definitely got to go. So anyway, that's all I have, and I do apologize for this being actually basically just not an episode, and more of a, like, explanation of what's been happening and what's been going on. Basically, like, episode 3, like, I will do this next episode, like, I have done that this episode kind of thing, instead of actually, the live of us doing that thing, for most of it at least. Anyway, although, thing is, we do hope to amend that, or I don't know why I said we, I do hope to amend that in the next LegendCraft special features coming out, as I already have the footage for that recorded, and it should come out pretty soon. And for the next LegendCraft episode, where we're actually, for real this time, going to start Fire Tower. And I don't know if I said that last episode or not, but this is real. We have nothing else to do besides the Vault and Fire Tower, and that is what we're going to be doing. So buckle up for adventure, and I'll see you on the other side.